Yeah, this is a videotape and a disc of some movies from the Willard and Rae Cranney family, taken and transposed to VHS, then over to the computer, and then onto a DVD. Anyway, this is playful stuff in the yard. That looks like Phillip Cranney and Mike goofing around. Phillip is Wendell and Ruth's son. I think he's a year older than Mike. I don't know, he probably looks like Mikey's probably 7 or 8 years old. There's a few strays mixed in here. I think the Walton kids have been, they were kids of a worker that worked for my dad. And that's Doug there. He looks like he's about 14 months. Doing a little waddle there. That's a stray. That looks like Gary and Mike with their cowboy guns. That's the site of the old house, the homestead. Got their chaps on and cowboy hats, and that's got to be Doug. I don't know the name of the mare and foal, but he's not having much luck. He's not having much luck getting her to move. A lot of these things we won't know the exact places. We just have to kind of remember. That's Gary, I think, hanging over the front fence. By the way, this is Gary Cranney doing the narrating, so I'll have favorable comments. That's Mike pushing Doug. This is Donald Doman, affectionately known as Quack. It looks like Doug and he's wagging, and Mike is the engine. This is Dell's second daughter, Pamela, and Vicki, and then Dwight. They were probably visiting with Granny, who's lived across the street from us. There they go again. Like I say, most of these movies, I'm guessing, were done, late 40s through probably the mid 50s. But I'll have trouble. I'm going to do the best I can as far as identifying. It's got to be Vicki and then Dwight and Vicki again. But I'm open to correction. It's got to be Doug. That looks like he's grown up there pretty fast. He looks like he's 4 or 5. There's a ring-neck Chinese pheasant. I don't know why it's in there. Got Doug again there, so anyway. This looks like our yard. They've probably been trying to document that we get rain and sleet freezes to the trees. Now this is Bill, looks like blasting away, and that's Sharon and probably Vicki. That's Dell's oldest daughter. So this looks like Gary and Bill and Mike with, I think Bill got his first bike. This must be somebody hustling the turkey for turkey dinner. This has got to be RomaLynn and I don't know who else. Probably a Christmas dinner day in windy Idaho with a little bit of, this is Kathleen, Mike, and Gary. Kathleen is K. Clark's oldest daughter. That's on Grandma Ray's side, her younger brother. Here we go. Speedball's at the lead there. That's Kathleen and Gary, and there's Doug bringing up the rear. This is Kelly. Now he'd be the oldest boy of Kay and Marian. Shannon, that's the second daughter. And there's Gary, and this is Grandpa Saul lounging on the grass. Looks like Kay and Marian and Shannon. This is the two grandmas, Granny Clark in the white and Grandma Cranney in the black. This is Grandpa Saul Clark with some of the grandkids. Bill seems to be AWOL. I haven't seen him in any of these. He's probably too old for this kind of monkey business at that point in his lifespan. Doug's, and there's the grandmas again. Hal Seeds and Marilyn or Merni, that was Mother's youngest sister. She's visiting. That's a good old barnyard in the background. This is Marian K again. Once again, we have the frost. This is Granny Cranney's front yard. This is the track and field exposition, I think. There was Mike. There's Doug, Gary, Doug. Can't afford it. There's Gary leaping. That's my only accomplishment on tape. It's been documented, I think. Mike, Doug, Grandma Rae. She's a long jumper too. We didn't have enough money, I guess, or something. We didn't have a crossbar, so we used a piece of twine stretched between the two nails. This is Kim Cranney. That was Doug ahead of time, and then this is Erik Woodhouse. This is Cliff and Ann and Woodhouse's second, and I think the youngest boy. Oh, I know they had a younger daughter, I guess. That's Ann there. Kerma Cranney. That's Dad's cousin's wife, Harold Cranney's wife, Kay and Kim's mother. And there's the three stooges, or musketeers, I guess. Doug, Kim, that's Ann. Now this, I'm not sure this is, it looks like it might be Steve Jensen, who was Rowena Warr's grandson, and then Mark, who was his uncle, and Mark Warr and Stephen Jensen were, I think, about the same age, and I believe that's them, one of them, and then they're the two of them, so whichever's which. I think, yeah, there's Doug, and he's got his French beret. This looks, I'm not sure who these girls are. I think, I don't know, that's Jane Holt, I think. Yeah, I don't know. No, that's not her. There's that's Jenette Matthews, or Jenette, not Jenette Matthews, good grief. There's Karen Matthews, Deanne Matthews, and the first one through was Jenette Fowles, who is a classmate of Bill's in his grade. That's got to be a Whiteley, and that's Barry Maybe, Mike's cousin. There's Bryan Woodhouse, that's Erik's, and that's Gordy Anderson. Hanna Banana, that's Bill's cousin, and that's Leroy. I can't. Yeah, there's Jenette Fowles again. There's Dad's youngest sister, Lorraine, Kimber, and her oldest son, Duane. There she is again a little later on with Jannie and Duane. Yeah, so I think that must be Jannie there. Ray. I'm not sure who this is. It could be Lavelle, but it doesn't look exactly like her. So this is RomaLynn over at Granny's house, her side yard. Doug again with his tongue out. But let's see. That must be Granny's. Yeah, Granny's yard. Granny Cranney's yard with her flowers and stuff. She was at Rose Garden. That's got to be RomaLynn with her and Doug, checking out the Rose Garden. She spent a lot of time at that. So had a lot of enjoyment. Some of the grandkids get to help keep the weeds out, I think. So anyway, and the old barn is across the street is Willard Rae's homestead. Once again, we're in the still checking out the roses. Some of the, as I say, these lack some clarity here. These old, that old 8mm Keystone camera. I don't think it had any control for focus or even exposure, I think. So you just had to point and hope for the best. This looks, oh, that's Russell Kimber. That's Lorraine's husband. I don't know who this is walking with Granny Cranney there. This is obviously one of the tours to California. This is probably Tan Ferran racetrack up in up in Northern California, San Francisco Bay Area, one of the visits. I'm not 100% sure, but I think actually this must be the racetrack again there at Tan Fran. We went with the family and a couple other families there one time. This has got to be the harbor, I think, in San Francisco. I think that's Alcatraz, I'm guessing. It's probably in 1951 or 2, I guess. This has got to be Gary, I guess. Or, yeah, I think so. Or maybe Bill. This is Bill for sure here. So that must have been Bill. This looks like Opie from Mayberry RFD. Here's, that was Denny Beck, and then it's Helen Anderson as Dick Anderson's wife, and then Phyllis Beck. We're strolling the streets back to the harbor, Bay Area again. Scary. Once again, we're, I think, in Northern California. Denny Beck, who's Phyllis and Grant's oldest boy. He's since passed on. Got to be, you know, some park there, I guess, but I'm not entirely sure. There's Bill for sure. Looks like he's probably in freshman high school or something. So once again, I think there's a Presidio Park, but even though I was there, I still remember a long time ago. I think this is an area, and this may even been a different trip, but I think there was a place called the Cliff House and Seal Rock or something where the folks visited there. That car was a 53 Cadillac, so it had to be 53 or 4, I guess. This looks like maybe a different tour, one of the folks' tours. Once again, this could be that. It seemed like Mother said they used to dive for pennies there at the Seal Rock, so got to be the zoo somewhere, Northern California. I don't believe we went to the zoo when we were on vacation with them, but there'll be a menagerie of vacations, and some of them I don't really know. Doesn't really matter, I guess. This looks like Grant Beck, and that was, I think, Fred Allen. So one of their, guessing California tour. I don't know where the Bufflers came from. It may have been on one of their fishing trips in Yellowstone or something. Obviously, Grandma Rae, Mother, and that looks like Fred and Bea and Phyllis and Ray. I think this was a trip they may have made to Texas. I think it seemed like they went to the Fort Worth one time to the livestock exposition, and there's Dad there, Willard. There's Fred Allen doing a pantomime of a dive. Too bad he didn't fall in, but can't have it all. This looks like it's got to be. Now there's Dad there strolling. Once again, that's that 53 Caddy, so it's got to be 53 or later. Looks like we're at the races again somewhere. Just lolling through the paddock. There's Grant Beck. This could be at Santa Anita or Hollywood Park, but not sure. Some of those trips will be